Okay, hello, sir. My name is William. Okay, okay, and yeah, and today's I know and yeah I know that and I know today's fiscal was like a leap year day, but before I can get to that, I want to read this part. Okay, so this is called "What is a leap year?" I'm gonna read this to you. Okay, so today's February. So right here it says right here it'll be February 20 today. Well, not today, but it will be in a few months. It will be in a few months anyway. But yeah, in February 29, 2012. Well, that was a few years ago anyway, but that was years ago anyway, but it says that February 29th is a leap day, and to understand more phonon and the significance of 29th February in history, the Oxon Pagamian year, creation of the calendar customs of time reckoning. Now, the 29th of February, leap day is a modern form of the calendar, which recites of Roman names of these days. A leap day is instance of 4 years, like the difference between the common year of the 65 days and the solar year, but happy accidents the creeds of years, and here the Roman consists of years, divided by 4, and since the two difference some 11 minutes or less than 6 hours. Pope Gregory the 13th ordered in 1582 that leap day should be omitted with the leap year divisible by 100 and not by 400. And the year was affected by the country in these countries accepted the form which Great Britain did not until 1752 were 1700, 1800, 1900. And there was and then there was a 29th of February again in 2000, and but will not be in 2100. Persons born on February 29th were famously said to have a birthday only once every 4 years, and the basic extraordinary was born on February 29th in 1792, and would have until 1804 his second birthday, since 1800 was his common year in practice. However, he had birthdays common years on the 28th by the legal rule under the no done on the 22nd. Anyone born on 29th of February or March 1st, 1948 in England through not Scotland came through the very 28th of February in 1969. But once again, the act was abolished. The rule has reduced the age of majority. The persons born February 29th, 1982, the age of 28 in February 1970, but those are born in the next day, not until the 1st of March. Okay, Western Saints, such as Oswald Wester, who died on February 29th, okay, he died on 29th of February, used the culted on the day, year on the 28th of February in the common years, was the statistic of his relic of Roman reckoning, which made the last day of February pretty of Calendus Martius, and in either case, in contrast, Orthodox Church, which uses the four-door count, so it was John Crescent on the 29th of February in the leap year, and not in the common years, ready as punishment the last arrive when the saints and the Christ for work, Antony of the Shrieker's fast Cassian of the keys of idleness. And all Scotsmen in the 19th century asked a small boy, this day only occurred once in 4 years, caused the hold of her Bible, which fell open at Job 23, verse 3, that the day perished when I was born, deduced in Jacob, deduced in Job, they have been born on 29th of February. The Lord had altogether abolished that day, but the day have for his servants in the 3 years out of 4. That was more advanced in the contemporary, the 2nd century A.D. Athenians grafted the multi-millionaire Harold Atticus or other yielded of a strained emotionism with most extreme power by moving the calendar, and which his daughter died. 29th of February was added the year of Legend and Luminous. Actually, they could be seen by in church liking each other. Its hours are not difficult to count, but when there varies, but there is no alien manifestation. Lovers who marry this day have unusual eggshell hearts. Laudus, a fish, surely born on this day, are fierce with any others. Those who die on this day must find new ways of being on this day. Signing of the bills up the stairs in the sky. This is the day we keep for herself. The offers for you. Her breath is yours. Fair exchange. On this day, in England and Denmark, and woman, the traditional right, and Anthony marry her. compares City Hall against Day, the first city in November in the USA. So Catherine, City Catherine in 25th of November in France. Archeo Minister of Contain, it is a leap year. Women wear breeches and petticoats are there. John Lilly, the madness metamorphosis in 1600. Okay, on 29th of February 1504, there was a lunar collapse predicted. Great astronomer John Miller of Königsberg, Radiodemus Columbus, who took and distant eclipses of indicators or longitude, was stranded on Jamaica during his fourth voyage. The use of foreknowledge to secure food for his crew from the inhabitants by announcing before the eclipse that the moon would rise dark, bloody, the sign of God's displeasure, and declaring after its prayers on his behalf had been answered. Mark Twain explained this story on Connecticut Yankee in the court of King Arthur. Each writer hungered in King Solomon's mines, and the export is taken from the Oxford Companion to the Year by Bonnie Blackburn and Leo Frank Hanford Strampins, and described to EMP blog. And this is more in this book on the UK and US websites. Okay, that's it. So that's what article I'm trying to read. Okay, and I have to do now, guys. I have to do something right now. So guys, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so Holly is my name is William. Okay. Okay, and then today's video call was like a leap year day. I'm making the video on my laptop because my computer broke. But I'm getting a new computer, so next month anyway. So and it will be a Windows 10 computer. So yes, I'm getting another. So yes, I'm getting a Windows 10 computer. And I hope you're happy for that. And I hope you're happy for that. For me, okay? Because I know I had Windows 7 computer for years anyway. And I think, and I know that a lot of people think that people will steal my stuff, my security stuff. I know my stuff because Windows 7 computer is not secured or anything. But a lot of people think my computer will get hacked because my computer will get hacked because Windows 7 is not secure. That's why. Because my computer's not secure Windows 7, but don't worry. But anyway, I'm getting Windows 10, so hopefully that won't. And I never had that happen when I had Windows 7 anyway. But now I'm getting Windows 10, so if you want to be happy for that, that's fine. Computer. Right now I'm using my laptop because I have to use it. My new computer will come somewhere around next month. Okay. So that's just today's video is called. I was about to say about leap year day because 2024 is a leap year. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that now. Okay, so I'll go type Leap Year Day in other languages for now. I'm gonna do it in 3 languages so that way so that he doesn't get confused because I didn't do Excel here earlier. So here, I'll do it in English and Spanish and in Mandarin so that way so I get to start talking about this. Okay, so English and Spanish and Mandarin. So. Yeah, just get out of the way, you know. My thinking, and I know, it might be thinking I'm still learning Mandarin and I'm against communism. Well, it's just because I believe the Bible, you know. That's why. I know, and it's the CCP that messed up China. Anyway, I'll get to that in another video. You may be thinking, right? And do I support Taiwan? Well, no, but I want to get Taiwanese people saved, and so is Chinese. Oh, and I'll get to that in another video. Okay. But yeah, I do believe that. But yes, I do believe that Taiwan is a country, and I'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, so let's change this. Okay, now we can do it now. Okay, in Spanish, now Mandarin. I'll do it simplified first. Then international. But that's okay. That's what you want anyway. Okay, I got simplified and traditional. I got both. No, I did not want to go to Google Chrome. Yeah, I also have that too on my laptop. Okay. Okay, so here it is, okay? So leap year day, I just got it in Spanish and Mandarin, so that way, you know, because I don't want to get into too many languages. I'll just go to those right now. So yeah, leap year day.
Día del año bisiesto.
Yeah, okay, it's Dia del Año Bisiesto in Spanish. Now, now it's good. Now we can now. Okay, and now Mandarin.
闰年日
Okay, and it's called Run. Okay, it's called Runyan Ri in Mandarin. Okay, I'm probably not saying it correctly, but you know. Anyway, but I got both simplified and traditional Chinese characters if that's what you want. Okay. For well, I know for both if you want I know for both I know for if you want both, you know, and that's fine. I'll save. Okay, so and now let's go talk about leap year day now. So leap year day, you know, it's the next year. Now I know 2020 was a leap year, but this year 2024, next year, but the year of 2024 is a leap year, and I'm gonna talk about that now. So and I'll get into like what other leap years are gonna be. So either the year 2100 isn't gonna be a leap year. Yeah, the year 2100 isn't gonna be a leap year. If you want to find out why, well, I'll show you. Come on, go back over here. Okay, so I want to show you about the rule about leap years here. And then I'll read about leap years on Instance and Genesis as well. So leap years, I'll do that Instance and Genesis as well. Okay, so leap years. So the rule is for leap year is according to the Gregorian calendar, which is the civil calendar in use today. Years in the municipal for leap years, but the exception over central years, they're not they're they're not divisible by 400. But even though the years 1700, 1800, 1900, and 2100 are not leap years, but 16,000, 2000, and 2400 are leap years. Okay, so here's the background. So the Gregorian calendar is attended by the same length of the cycle of the seasons. However, the cycle of the seasons, which are known as the tropical year, is probably 365,000.2422 days, because it's not exactly 365 and a quarter. That's why. Since the calendar year is consistent in integral number of whole days, a calendar year is not exactly the tropical year. If the calendar was always consistent in 365 days, it would be short of the tropical year about 0.2422 days every year. Over a century, the calendar would depart by the 24 days, as the beginning of spring in the Northern Hemisphere was shifted from March 20th to April 13th. Oh, yeah, okay. The second axis of the calendar of tropical years, leap day. Leap days are periodically added into the calendar for leap years, but if they every 4 year, the average name of the calendar is 365.25 days. This was the basis of the Julian calendar, introduced of the Julius Caesar in 46 BC. In the case, the calendar year is longer than the tropical year, about 0.0078 days, over a century difference, or a little over 3/4 of a day. From the time of Julius Caesar, the 16th century AD, the beginning of spring is shifted to March 23rd to March 11th. When Pope Gregory Pope Gregory the 13th instituted the Gregorian calendar in 1582, the Gregorian calendar shifted to make a beginning of the fall March 21st, and to make it and the new system of leap days and introduced instead and calculating leap day every 4 year, 97 leap days introduced every 400 years according to the rule given above. Thus, the average Gregorian calendar year is 365.2425 days in length. This agrees in half a minute of length of the tropical year, and it would be take about 3,300 years before the Gregorian calendar is much one day out of step with the seasons. Yeah, of course, the Gregorian calendar is not perfect, so. Okay, I don't know why that came up. But I got to close anyway. So, yeah, so 2024 will be the next leap year. Why 2000 will be the leap year? Check the leap year divided by 4, divisible by, okay, not divisible by 100, but or divisible by 400. Contrary to what may think, leap years does not always occur every 4 years. There are exceptions that are taken below to it. Notice that the leap years from 1900 to 3000. So 1900, 2000, 2024, 2096 is the list of leap years in the future, but the table is like on the list of leap years of 1900 to 3000. It is shown in the red 99 years. We might have the opposite. So yeah, the year 2100, 2200, and 2300, and 2500, and 2600, and 2700, and 1900, and 3000 are not leap years. Yeah, but okay. And then, but what about 3200? You know, because now we get into this. So the year 2400 is a leap year, and it's the year this is the year 2800. But what about the year 3200? Let me see what it says. Okay, 3200 is divisible by 4, but also divisible by 100. But it's also divisible by 400, but also divisible by 3200. Therefore, rule number 4, it'll be no over between 3200. Okay, so it's also 3200 as well. But yeah, so the next leap year after that will be 3600. And then there's 4000. Yeah. It says right here, according to the rule above, the AD 4000 will be a leap year because it is divisible by 400. Yeah. Yeah, that's. But yeah, but I'll show you. So. So the year 5000 won't be a leap year, but the year 6000 will be. And here's 7. Okay. And the year 7000, 8000, and 9000, according to date, okay, it says 3000, 4000, 5000, 7000, 8000, 9000 won't be leap years. Well, I'm not sure why it says 4000, 8, and 8000. I thought they will be leap years. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. If they're not going to be leap years, I don't know. But what about this year? The year 10,000. Why? I want to eat at home, Mom. I want to eat at home, Mom. Yes, I know that, Mom, but I still want to eat at home anyway. No, Mom. No, Mom, I said that. Okay, Mom. I'm sorry, okay. My mom wanted to go out either, but I already said no to her because I want to make I want to keep making this video. That's why. Anyway, I was gonna say is that okay, so it's right here. Will the year 10,000 be a leap year? And it says yes. And it said yes. The year 10,000 will be a leap year. So yeah, we got that. The year 10,000 will be a leap year. But according to that, but I even don't know what. Okay, Mom, I'll do that soon, Mom. Okay, let me finish. Well, let me finish. I'm busy right now. I'll do the towels when I'm ready. Okay, Mom. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if we're gonna have those years anyway, since we're gonna have since the tribulation's gonna come. I don't know when since I don't know when the tribulation's gonna come anyway. But I'm just because of the tribulation coming. But and I don't know when the tribulation's gonna come. I don't know that. I don't know yet, but I'll have to figure that out later. So, and Sid put out an infographic leap years of 1900 3000 handy if you want to subject in leap years. Okay, doesn't be you have it near 365 days and February 28th you can download PDF format without holidays and check out the annual semi-annual monthly kind of USB register colors. Okay, so so I took all the leap years from I guess from 1600 to I guess the year 10,000. Yeah, so but I don't know where we're gonna have those years because I don't know when the tribulation is gonna come. But we'll see. I don't know. You might have because we're still pretty. I think we're still pretty far away from the tribulation. But but I don't know yet. That's why. So let's look at the last leap year day, or you can also call it a leap day for 2020. A brief history of leap day. Okay, and then and then we can do the track and time when we get our calendar and stuff. So today is it says right here. Today's February 29th. Okay. Well, February 29th we will be in a few months. We'll be in a few months. Okay, and it says leap year 2020, which is like 4 years ago. Okay, and the next one will be 2024. So there it is. So this date occurs every 4 years. We do have incremental practice. Most people grew up learning about the year 365 and a quarter days long, but it's tendency that most years 360 days long, every 4 years being 360 days. However, the story is more complicated than that. Times are times are changing. Our calendar dates of the Roman Empire, like the most ancient calendars, like Roman calendar, was a lunar one, and months define and most moon phases. The lunar phases repeat with a Saionic month, and Sonic month varies between 29.18 days and 29.93 days, with the average in 29.5 days. Constantly, the Roman calendar has months on it in between 29 and 30 days. Constantly, there are two 30-day months in a row, and instead of it's only 365 days long. And take days are shortly is true length, and they give the calendar a sync with the true length of the year, and to carry month, and this they try to say every third year. Since the customs begins the year with the vernal equinox, which was on March. They carry out the usually anticipated before March and after February. Normally, 12-month Roman calendar. It's like a second century BC. Romans have moved to the first year, January 1st, and they continue the practice in discerning of February month after what required after February. And was assigned as necessary in the grade of the month, as with ancient cultures, responsibility for the fill of the priests. However, some Roman priests were open to corruption. They were often adjusted to the calendar, lengthen the terms of the office of their political allies. Okay, and the shortening of terms of the political opponents. And to make matters worse, this is a local decision. The travelers going to the town of the Roman Empire, and himself was going from year to year. And after he became emperor, Julius Caesar decided that there is no way to run an empire in 46 BC. He's to the Julian calendar reform, borrowing from the Egyptian practice. The Julian calendar scrapped the lunar months in favor of the months of the fixed length by adding the 10 days to the calendar, resulting in months of 30 or 31 days. The exception of was February, which normally had 28 days, but henceforth we have 29 days every fourth year. And in whatever form, on January 1st, official beginning of the new years across the empire, the Julian calendar took effect every January 1st and 45 BC. Yeah, the V-Day's Resurrection Sunday. The problem is the triple year upon which the calendar is 11 minutes short of 365.25 days. 11 minutes may not be sound much, but over a century, difference of 0.25 0.75 a day. Again, 0.75 of a day. Century doesn't seem large, but over a century, error continues and accumulate. And the 2025, the concept of okay, Nicaea, the days of the certain Christian observatives, such as Resurrection Sunday. The formula adopted the Resurrection Sunday was the first Sunday of the full moon that falls on March 21st. March 21st was chosen because the 25th was the date of the vernal equinox. However, by the 16th century, the error was 10 days. Hence, the vernal equinox was falling on March 11th, not March 21st. The error was causing Resurrection Sunday to occur progressively later in the spring. To fix this problem, Pope Gregory XIII commissioned another calendar reform. The Gregorian calendar reformed two things. First, we had to get back to where the was AD 325, and it was eliminated. October 4th, 1582 was then followed by October 15th, 1582. Second, we have to prevent mismatch happening again. The Gregorian leap years was changed. The practice of divisible by 4 leap year continued, exception of divisible by 100. And there are not going to be leap years, exception of also divisible by 400, which would be leap years. Therefore, in the century adoption of the Gregorian calendar, 1700, 1800, and 1900 were common years without leap day, and so is the year 2100. But the year 2000 was a leap year, and we employed the last part of the rule leap year for once again and since 1582. And I won't do it again until the year 2400. Truly, the year 2000 was 1 year by 400. The Roman Catholic countries really adopted the Gregorian calendar. Orthodox and Protestant countries did not. The Protestant Reformation was still ongoing at the time. Eventually, much of the came of the still style calendar. England and American colonies changed the Gregorian calendar in 1752, requiring a deletion of 11 days. And to add the confusion, the United Kingdom also switched observance of the new year from March 25th to January 1st that year. There were riots with people demanding their 11 days back. gradual acceptance. The slow down transition repercussions. Russia didn't adopt the Gregorian calendar until the year 1918, the Communist Revolution requiring deletion of 13 days from their calendar. And what was the October Revolution in November? When it was October in Russia and it was November in much of Europe. Outside of Russia, Greece didn't convert the new calendar until 1923. Meanwhile, the first modern Olympics were held in Athens in 1896. The Greeks sent out intimations along with the dates of the events. Most countries understood that the dates were on the Julian calendar, but not the United States. The U.S. Olympic team arrived in Athens midway through the games, missing many of the events. At least, business purposes, most of the world today is on the same calendar. Okay, historians must be careful how we express dates are recorded in historical documents and accounts. The Convention of Express of October 1st, 1582, the Julian calendar, and the express of dates after October 1st, 1582 with the Gregorian calendar. For instance, we celebrate George Washington's birthday on February 22nd, 1732, new style. But we had the birth certificate at the time. We read it February 11, 1732, old style. On the other hand, according to this journal, Christopher Columbus made a landfall in the New World on October 12, 1492. Since this is before the Gregorian calendar, we don't convert it to the Gregorian calendar. October 12th is Columbus Day. Man's conviction of the divine constraints. This is any manner in God's straight, probably not, but God ordained that the heavenly bodies were used to find days and years. Genesis chapter 1:4. That's in the ESV, but Genesis chapter 1:14. So the purposes of the heavenly bodies used away by God. The days. So how this is true measures in the general, but God expects only of the honest of these things. Leviticus chapter 19 verse. Leviticus chapter 19 verse 35-36, and Deuteronomy 25 verse 13. Deuteronomy chapter 25 verses 13 to 16, and then Proverbs chapter 16 verse 11, and then Proverbs chapter 20 verse 10. Seven means the standards of measure, including time as a function of government, while the day, month, and natural divisions of the time, and then this one division that God has ordained the week and the day of creation. Account in Genesis chapter 1 and Exodus chapter 20 verse 11. And that was the time identified for throughout in Zending. The mid-Neolithic system arose the aftermath of French French Revolution, Napoleon's conquest spread across Europe, and there were a bunch of 10 minutes to account for the probability of system in the world, and the basic information of catch on. But the French adopted the metric calendar and cents per minutes, 100 minutes per hour, 10 a day, and 10 days per week. After the decay was regularly workable, and the French described it the next to people most offensive, the 10-day week, and most even and cannot thwart the will of God and what He has ordained. Okay, now before I want to get into any more of this, I want to talk about something else now. I want to know what happened if you're born on a leap year day. Now, if you're born on a leap day, you'll be called a leap year. Right? Yeah. Okay, it says right here. I'm going to read this to you. So those who are born on that day don't always celebrate their actual birthday, but since their day occurs only one every 4, someone born on leap day typically celebrates on February 28th or March 1st. Okay, and it says right here. born. Okay, some of course someone who was born on leap day, who was born on a leap day. Okay, so people are born on leap day are often called leaplings or leapers. Most of them don't even wait every 4 years, and they do celebrate birthdays. They say they both counts on February 28th or March 1st. Okay, so that's what it says on my phone. I just Google it. Okay? Now we can get into this now. Okay? Now the counter oddities. These are two related issues in this mini for readers, but this will be complicated interaction between the Earth and the Moon. The day is gradually longer, but don't expect it to change the calendars anytime soon. The days getting longer at rate 0.0016 seconds per century. But this is very interesting to the fact. As the day gets longer, the moon orbits slowly spirals away. This fact places Super Upper into the age of the Earth-Moon system, indicating that the Earth and Moon are not billions of years old. And the second issue is the common question we get. Many Christians think that the year was once 660 days long, but the common understanding conceptually changed the past. At the time of the flood, nearly a decade ago, the investigative claim was titled "Was the year once 360 days long?" Well, I figured that there was no good evidence that the year was that long, and so going back to creation, that day in the month was probably just something similar to what they have today. But some Christians find this unsettling because it seems that they're not being and you gotta go multiple days in the month of the year doesn't fit when it comes to the very good creation. But if who oppose the concept of very good what God has done. When do leaplings people or born on February 29th celebrate the birthdays on common years? Most leapers, as leaplings, as sometimes known, celebrate either on February 28th or March 1st as common years. If we're a leapling, I probably celebrate both days. So enjoy your leap day 2020 or 2020 and also 2000. Yeah, that's what it's 2020. 2024 is a leap year we're going to now. Yeah, it was on a Saturday. Yes, the next leap year. Um, the next leap year, the leap year on in 2024 is on Wednesday. I mean, sorry, the next leap year is on a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. That's it, Thursday. So next leap year is on the Thursday in 2024. Okay, now let's keep reading this. So one thing that people do different today is, according to tradition, it's okay for a woman to purpose and to a man on leap date. I'm certainly not one objected to a tradition. Okay. Now, next one. Checking time, where do we get our calendar? Okay, October 4th is the anniversary tradition of the Gregorian calendar by which most of the world keeps track of what month and year it is. The Gregorian calendar was used in October 1582 to replace the Julian calendar, which had been in the calendar system for over 1,600 years. The Julian calendar was used for new places of the world and was still using the Gregorian calendar. But 22nd would instead be September 19th. Most of the fundamental ways understand that events will be happen. Your birthday was once a year, Christmas always on September 25th, and Valentine's Day is always on February 14th. We remember for like the 10 years, and single life the couples of a video anniversary picture of initial family marriage. Where did the calendars begin? Adam wasn't created on January 1st, was he? And even when if simply Jesus born on December 25th, few people would suggest its actual date was born. As many think, or does the calendar go back to the calendar go back to Genesis? Mentioned in Genesis would indicate the passing in the way. We could measure as a day Morse's night cycle began in the first day when God separated the light from the darkness. Even though the sun and moon would not have been created, somehow there was a time when it was light, possibly it was experienced by a person of the earth, and followed by the time of darkness, and they are named day and night. And number 88 are couple length, the day and night, are experienced with the sun and moon. One day for God created the sun and moon and stars, and general objects at the same time, when stated their purpose. Yeah. And this is I know, and this is chapter one. This is Genesis chapter 1 verses 14 to 15 in a modern Bible version. But you can read this. But yeah, you can read this in the KJV because I'm KJV only anyway. But yeah, this will say the same thing in the KJV. Okay, it says. And it said, there will be lights and expanse in the heavens and separate the day and the night, and then be signs for seasons and for the days and years. And expanse in the heavens I upon the earth. Yeah, even though I'm King James only, that's why I got the official King James Bible right here. But it's in Genesis, it's not King James only, so that's why. That's why they put that there. Okay, that's why they have it in a modern Bible version. So the sun and the greater light gives the opposition of day and night. The moon gives us the vision of time, the month, and the moon reflects sunlight. When the half of the moon is reflecting sunlight faces the earth, that is a full moon. When the sun reflects off the half of the moon and not facing the earth, that is a new moon. And between the various places of waxing and waning, for a new moon is a lunar month, even if the today's calendar in the Western world does not line up in the lunar months, the ancient calendars did. There are a few ways to measure the year, relationship between the sun and the earth. The solar year is the time of the vernal equinox to another, when the sun crosses the celestial equator. The sidereal measures at least orbit around the sun. The stars are reference time, approximately 20 minutes or longer than the solar year. Or trying to think of the year of the earth return to point of its orbit closest to the sun, and 5 minutes longer than the sidereal year. Okay, so now ancient calendars. We're not having to get to that now. So the exactly when people started using calendars, Adam stage was measured in years, but we emerged to believe the argument measurement, which means we must have figured the measure of time very early, in which means of using months. Days did not divinity fit the solar year. A lunar year is 12 lunar months, 11 days shorter than a solar year, which was using 11 years, 12 lunar months, 354 days. He would be 901 years old in solar years. But if the 1656 years of the creation to the flood was measured in lunar years, and that would be 1606 solar years. The continuation of the timeline of Genesis chapter 6 to 7 reveals to Moses reckonings of the flood at lunar time of 360 days and divided into 12 months, 30 days, a biblical view of the timeline explanation. The evidence we have outside the Bible suggests that people became aware of the difference between lunar and solar years, or early they came up lunar solar calendars. The month of the lunar years were solar. In summer, and the Gregorian months, the periodically in Sumer and the Gregorian months, periodically complain and kings and bring calendar back to the line with the solar year, and it was done by until Persian and strong of knowledge made it possible for them to understand and gradations. Ancient Egypt had a calendar 65 days back to the very to the solar year month. 30 days, a month of 5 days. This calendar meant the Egyptians lost a day every 4 years. Okay, when God reformed the Hebrew calendar. Just before Passover are the odd times, and he addresses the Hebrew calendar. And he tells Moses, Israelites, Egyptians, fasting, all this sort of precious time, prepare their Passover until their sandals because they are needed. You guys well know this, but until this, I remember until next song, but it just covers March, April for us, and the first month of the year was for them. Exodus 12, verse 1 and 2. When God chose a moment of this calendar reset, the death was the firstborn culminated of the serious judgments where God were not only judged Pharaoh in Egypt, but for the persecution and slavery of the Israelites, but also knew the mystery of over the false god of the Egyptians. The false gods were the view with the calendar. God didn't waste any time this was changing Israel from the false god of the Egyptians right down to changing the calendar. Instead, the Hebrew calendar was defined by God and his acts with the head of Israel, was defense of Israel, for you to see him on that the month during the Exodus defined beginning of the year. Seventh principles. At the same time, God will form their week. Well, God in 7 days God created in 7 days. We don't expect an omission of 7-day week. People have the creation week until God instituted the Sabbath. 7-day periods during the flood narrative indicate that the people have many 7-day prior to the Mosaic law, but so it goes are weeks of different lengths. The Egyptians have 10 week. The Galatians, the Passover is 7-day week. Those who point out that Sumer had 7 days based on the Palmar time and the moon had changed one phase to another, that the Babylonians inherited of the 7-day week from them. But the early in history, Israel did not have significant interaction that alone could all exchange societies that far away. Okay, if the Israelites had been observing Egypt's 10-day week, God's institution of the Sabbath was mid 7-day week of the nation. When God gave the Israelites manna, he told Moses to instruct the Israelites to gather twice as much of the 6th day of the seventh to the Sabbath for them, and the people ordained the rest of the 7th day. But the true significance of the bread of the Sabbath was not explained until Sinai, where God gave the 10 Commandments. Explanation needed to the Hebrew observance of the Sabbath to God's rest every 6 days of creation. Exodus 21, 8-11. Since Moses was a human, after complaining of Genesis, it is possible that Israel had forgotten about the history of creation. It's being surrounded by Egyptian mythology for hundreds of years. We do not know how much history we have in Genesis. Just remember, the general Israelite population until we received it back in the form of God inspired scripture. The observance of Sabbath, ancient Israel, at some point in God instituted the death penalty for breaking the Sabbath in Exodus 31, in chapter 31, and again Exodus chapter 35. And what is a solemn reminder, the covenant between Israel and God, and conditional reminder that God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th day. Just as Israel observed the weekly Sabbath, the covenant of release, the Israelite observance of the 6 years and then to follow the 7th year, Leviticus 25, chapter 25. These customs were the cycle rest of the 6th period of the week, and we did not replace the regular pattern of resting of the 7th day. Okay, annual festivals. God had ensured the Israelite year revolved around festivals worshiping Him, not the false gods we worshipped by Egypt and Canaan, and the revealed bread of the beginning of the year, feast of harvest, and the beginning of the end of the year of the festivals where Israel can worship and celebrate God's deliverance and provision. In Exodus 123, verse 14-17, these festivals were supported that God related in Exodus 34. In emphasis of replacing, if the emphasis is on replacing pagan practices on the explanation of worship the true God, it also explains otherwise observation of the boiling in goats and its mother's milk, rather than culinary practice. It was probably ritual meant and shorter than fertility, instead of relying on such unpagan practices. Israel was instead to trust God and to celebrate harvest feast at the beginning of harvest and the feast of ingrading at the end of the harvest. Israel, however, observed the feast of idolatry in Isaiah's day when God implemented a feast day and instituted. Now, I know you. Now, I know. Now, this will see the same thing in the King James, but this is one in the modern version. I'm gonna read what it says in the modern version. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. You can read this in the King James because because you're be King James only. But I'll read what this says as in the modern version. This is right here. It says, "You come to appear me before." Require for this a jumping in my course, being no more when van offerings and sins abomination to me, new moon and Sabbath, and the calling of convocations, and cannot adore into any of solemn assembly. Your new moons are adopted by a feast, and my soul hates. The became a burden to me, and I'm worried bearing them. Isaiah chapter 1, verses 12 to 14. Okay, now let's keep reading this. Okay, so on the figures of festivals in the Hebrew calendar, weekend Sabbath were mentioned that continual reminds of his relationship with God. But when Israel fell into idolatry, observance compared with what Esther was, when mentioning God original attention for them. Turning calendars to chronology. When the calendar was demonstrated of the measure of the year, how did ancient people measure the message of the years? The global flood happened in around 56 years after creation. When Genesis chapter, but Genesis doesn't say 1656 years after creation. It says when Noah was 600 years old, so the events primarily tracked down what was given periodic when it happened. But it also explains that in Genesis chapter 5 and the 11 genealogies of the ages projects of the birth and next in line of the lifespan of necessary of the turn say the 600 year of Noah life and into the 1656 years after creation. Okay, after the flood, dispersion of Babel, and these places have quickly developed the culture and the government system reigning king. And it was surprising that the system was shifted by reckoning time, the lifespans of Frederick's time of the reign of the kings, Sumer, Babylon, and Egypt, all used renal years, documents of the Super King list. Canons provide evidence of practice, but the singing of Genesis provides a tight chronogeology. Pick up up until the point of Jacob and entered Egypt in 130 and died in 147 in Egypt. The Israelites who have incurred the regular year of perhaps gradually stopped in the reckoning time of the times of predicts. When the Bible provides 100 markers of their are going to measure time in creation and Jewish return in the exile, thus the time of the earth. Jacob's death will be markers done for the lifespan of the given individual. So, the ancestors of the Mayan calendar. The ancestors of the Mayan calendar today is the ancient Roman calendar, which months of the new moon that's included by the bring it into alignment of the alignment of the solar year. Let's just set the Roman ancestors the first calendar of the year 4 days, divided into 10 months. And it's likely the calendar was historical because when immediately of the alignment of the solar year, and there was no historical evidence of this calendar actually being used. Instead of the earliest study calendar, the Roman American calendar had many similarities of the modern calendar. It had 12 months, and many of them were named similarly of the months we mark today. And then the date of the year of over 24 year cycle due to this inclusion in every month of the study intervals. This calculation, however, is quite a year of the 25 days. Now, Julius Caesar was born on the calendar in 46 BC, and would be a length of 65 days. And the leap year was every fourth year of 66 days. The simple way of achieving a year of 365 and a quarter days. This will be longer than solar year, which is 65.24219 days. This meant the Julian calendar was gained a day every 128 years. This may not seem like a simple drift, but the time is adding up. The Gregorian calendar changes the nature of every leap year, bringing it into in close alignment with the solar year. every year was actually divisible by 400, by 4 is a leap year, except of years of that is divisible by 100. Well, these essential years by leap year are divisible by 400. For example, the years 1700 and 1800 and 1900 are not leap years, but 2000 is. Calculating the age of the world. Calculating the age of the world. Okay, at the time of it is 2022, but 2022 years from what? The abbreviation of AD stands for Latin Anno Domini, which means the year of the Lord, and it means the mark of the many years past the time of birth in Christ. And in several reasons, it is a couple of years off. Most historians from Jesus' birth remains between 6 and 2 BC. Because the biblical records allow us measure of past between creation and the time of Jewish return of exile, which is the point we can match up biblical time of the timeline. It's possible to indicate the age of the world high degree of accuracy, however. Records do not make it possible to calculate the age of the world down to the day, or even the exact year. The century mostly given. We do not know that Seth was born on her 30th birthday or any day. Between the day before he turned 131, he was Adam's age in goods of not, i.e., the first anniversary of his creation. You count 1 year old or two, but this is unnecessary. Happens as we think of chronological chain and drip every few years, but not decades. This is regarding exact age of the earth. Various of the Jews and Christians without history took Bible's history and seriously and have used the Old Testament created chronology of the world. Archbishop James and Usher, most people responding to the world and fascinating reading of this day. Most believe the earth was created on 20, okay, and he believed that the earth was created on October 23rd and 4000 BC. Isaac Newton is known as Genesis, was going to do the science of the earth. He believed was created and 3998 BC, but these men were those calculated the earth's age among the real scholars of the day. Okay. Now the lessons we learned. Okay, even though the world was fallen, the sun and moon and stars for the created purpose of making the days and seasons and years. Our calendars follow the line of the sun, and our calendars must change to fit of the solar year, not the other way around. God created the world when we mark time in history mind. The Bible records enough historical details allows a measure of the world, just as God as ordinary the universe, and allows a subject combination, the order, heavens as circle investigation. Okay, just as God gave the Hebrew people and Sabbath, the festivals around remind the special relationship with them, but most Christians still have worship the first day of the week and to celebrate Jesus' resurrection, but some worship Saturday and scrutiny of the Sabbath that God originally instituted the day we worship is not important. In fact, is the fact we do worship, but also is the commemorating Jesus' death during Easter and his birth, and his birth during Christmas. While we are not while those we never committed in the Bible, they fit with the theme of remembering God's goodness and to his people throughout the year. Okay, so and that's another thing I have to talk about. So about calendars. So leap year, leap year day, or leap day, whatever you want to call it, So we have to keep giving the leap year date. So leap year day is just another extra day on the calendar, It's just another year we can worship God and Jesus Christ, That's what I will use it for, Leap year day. Now, one more question. Is leap year day a federal holiday? Well, let me take a look. Okay, so once every 4 years, actually, it's called a month, but the year Mr. Leap Year 29 is known as a leap day, but here's what about it. Here's what about holiday. Use mark is okay. We use mark is not a official holiday because it deals with a special because it opens around a special day. Okay, so leap day is so the day called leap day is not a holiday. Okay, so leap year day is not really a federal holiday. This is an extra day on it's just an extra day on the calendar. Well, it's just probably because we don't celebrate it as a holiday, and that's okay. Hmm. But I still want to talk about it anyway because because it's something I might want to talk about on YouTube anyway. And I'll talk about how they get saved before I go anyway. Okay, so pointing any false religions to damn souls to hell. And the goal to heaven is to believe on Lord Jesus Christ. Salvation is by faith alone and grace on Jesus Christ alone. And once you are saved, by easy believes in the truth, meaning that you can't lose your salvation. So by easy believes in is that salvation is easy to do is believe in Jesus Christ for salvation. Now, I'll talk about next video is called what does the Bible say about antimatter? Well, let me fix that because I misspelled the word antimatter. There. So the next video will be called what does the Bible say about antimatter? And I'll talk about that, next video. Okay? I'll talk about antimatter next video. Okay? Because it's going to go alright now. But thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.